Generals led to the Armed Forces Officers' Mess Asokoro, Abuja, the Palatial Enclave, and Officers' Mess of the Nigerian military personnel, where the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, played host to the 113 retired and retiring Nigerian Army generals. The occasion, Regimental Dinner Night, in honor of retired and retiring Nigerian Army Generals 2023, to honor and celebrate the gallantry and meritorious service of 113 retired Nigerian Army Generals, which comprises one full general, that is the former Chief of Defence Staff, General Loke Rabo, retired, who served 30 years in the military, 67 Major Generals and 44 Brigadier Generals. The climax of the event is the recognition of the retired generals and the retiring generals who will be retiring before the end of this year, 2023. Speaking at the event, the chief host, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, noted that the ceremony is unique as it ushers the personnel to the Christmas and New Year celebration. He added that the celebration is to thank all the retired and retiree generals for the remarkable achievements they made while in active service to the nation through the Army.
I'm delighted and honored to welcome you all to the Armed Forces Officers' Mess, Asokoro, the venue of this all-important Regimental Dinner Night, in honor of Nigerian Army Generals that retired or are retiring this year. This evening's gathering reminds me of how we started our post-Nigerian Defence Academy service with a similar activity, the Nigerian Defence Academy POP Regimental Dinner Night. We were told then that the event was to mark the beginning of a journey into the officers' corps of our armed forces. Although we had the privilege of experiencing some regimental dinner night functions prior to the POP dinner night at the Nigerian Defence Academy, that particular event came with a different flavor. It was filled with a sense of accomplishment and hope of a bright future in our chosen career. As hopeful and excited as we were for a fulfilling career then, we were apprehensive of the unknown. We were not sure of how many will make it to the end and what sort of career it was going to be for each of us. We have tried to reenact that regimental dinner night experience tonight to make our retired and retiring generals count their blessings and appreciate God and the Nigerian Army for where you got to. There's no doubt that so many of your colleagues that passed out from the Nigerian Defence Academy will have prayed to get to where you got to in service. So as I welcome you to this Regimental Dinner Night, I congratulate you for getting to this point of disengaging voluntarily from service in a meritorious manner.
In his remarks, the special guest of honor, Minister of Defence, commended the Army headquarters for honoring its retired and retiring personnel for their meritorious services to the nation and the armed forces in particular. He said their unwavering commitment to professionalism, integrity, ethical conduct has set the standard to the Nigerian Army, inspiring generation coming after to do exploits.
Retired generals and others at the exit door for their exemplary service and love for the country. I congratulate their families, particularly their spouse, for having them back home fully I thank the spouses and the children for their perseverance during the days and years of absence. In my few months as the Honourable Minister of Defence, I have come to appreciate the sacrifices made by our military families better, and I convey the nation's gratitude to you all. And I believe you will now start to begin to tolerate each other the way we civilians do, because you will be more at home. The Ministry of Defence is exploring options to make life in retirement desirable for our officers and men who have given the nation their best while in service. To this end, the issue of medical coverage and other welfare issues are being looked into to better the lots of our retired personnel. I must remind everyone that policies take time to get implemented in a constitutional democracy with its attendant bureaucracy. However, this administration is committed to getting things done quickly and correctly. Finally, I charge officers and men of armed forces to remain loyal and sustain the culture of supporting democracy in Nigeria and across our shores. Your disposition towards democracy has made you a shining example in West Africa. You give us cause to be proud and influential in the community of nations. And I assure you that the administration of President Mohammed Badaru GCFR will continue to support all your operations as well as your welfare.
Dignitaries present at the Regimental Dinner Night in honor of retired and retiring Nigerian Army Generals 2023, while the Minister of Defence, the Chief of Defence Staff, the former Chief of Defence Staff, former Chief of Army Staff, and his wife, Chairman Senate Committee on Army, former Senior Principal Staff Officers of the Nigerian Army, President Naowa members, spouses, families of retired and retiring generals. Olayemi Eson for Spy TV.